Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight. I am Peter, and joining me as always is Tim.
What's up, numbnuts?
Oh dear. Oh dear. I just got new headphones, and I wasn't prepared for how you were going to sound when you yelled, "What's up, numbnuts?" right in my ears. It's distressing.
I don't really get why that's an insult. Why? Who cares if your nuts are numb? I don't even know what that means.
If anything, I would assume that means you've been using them a lot, and therefore they're kind of numb. So if anything, it's a compliment. It's, hey, congratulations on the orgasms.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Here's to many more.
So we're a horror movie podcast, believe it or not, and we every week talk about a horror movie as Tim's got a desk that's like a U shape, so now his cat's surrounding him every single episode, so this is fun. But yes, we're a horror movie podcast. Every week we get together, we talk about a horror film. In fact, twice a month we do two in a week. So it's starting in January 2020.
Some things only come once a month, but we come twice a month.
I mean, more a week than a month, but yeah, sure. I was caught up in the innuendo of it all there for a second. So we're going to talk about wounds. So basically, we're in 2019 catch-up season. We're in the season here where by March we want to have tried and caught up with all the big 2019 horror movies that we've not gotten to, so that when we do our top 10 best and top 10 worst, we feel like we're well informed. We feel like we're making nice, smart, intelligent decisions, which I know for Tim is the one time of the year he gets to feel that way. So I want to make sure that we're in the right place for it. So starting off that 2019 catch-up here at the start of the year is Wounds, which is a Hulu/Netflix movie. It's Hulu in the US, but Netflix internationally.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know, weird. Yeah, Joe, it's funny because you said you wanted to do this, right? Because we were recording two movies today, and I'd already listed 6 movies from 2019 that we need to get to these, and Tim said, hey, I've got 2 more for you. So I'll just say, if these 2 movies suck, it's Tim's fault, and you can blame him for it. Now you know what the next one is yet, but still.
At some point, I'll just learn to keep my big mouth shut. I wanted to watch these movies, and then, I could have just been I can just watch these movies and just not talk about them. But
nah, what's the fun in that? I'd have been annoyed at you. You're supposed to be the equal co-host, Tim. You're supposed to bring stuff to the table, not just keep it to yourself. I'd be like, hey.
Well, I mean, I guess if I'm equal co-host, that should probably mean I should start getting equal pay.
You're not that equal. Right, so I got to check yesterday to watch this where it's available, and it's on Netflix, and I thought that was weird because I thought it was a Hulu movie, but it's on Netflix. So Wound stars Armie Hammer. It's directed by Babak and Anvari, and we'll get into it. We'll start spoiler free, of course, as we always do. We'll give you a warning before we get into spoilers. Yeah, so Wounds. What is Wounds? Wounds is a movie, and I remember talking about this in the news at some point, where the premise was just a bartender finds a phone that was left behind by someone and his life unravels. That was the entire pitch of it, which is obviously very vague and doesn't actually get into. I mean, I thought that was a cool tidbit, but it didn't really give you a whole lot of where it goes. What actually is the threat of the film? What's going on? What does the phone lead to? Kind of thing. But it stars Armie Hammer.
Phone?
There you go.
Who is phone?
Who is phone?
Yeah. That's an internet thing. Never mind. It's like a famous creepy pasta. Look it up. A lot of our listeners are fucking shitting their pants laughing right now. So.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're all soiling themselves at how good that joke was. Old man Tim's schooling me on the internet. It's a bad day. So you Armie Hammer is Will the bartender. You get Zazie Beetz as Alicia, who's a regular at the bar. Will's girlfriend is played by Dakota Johnson. So there's actually a relative amount of names in this who we recognise from various movies. Zazie Beetz, I feel like I've seen in 5 things in the last year.
Yeah.
It's not all good, of course. She was in that piece of movie that was terrible. What was it? Slice.
Slice, yeah. I think she's always good in them, but yeah, the movies themselves aren't always good.
Oh yeah, she's solid. Dakota Johnson, last saw her in The Bad Times at El Royale. She's mostly known for the 50 Shades movies. I don't really care about those, obviously, but Bad Times at El Royale I enjoyed. Armie Hammer typically is pretty solid as well. I don't know what the last day I saw him in actually, but I've seen him in things here or there. So
he's a dude who, like, I hear his name a lot, and then for the life of me, I can never tell you what he looks like. I think he's a good actor, but I think he just has like the blandest white guy look, like, of all time.
That's fair. Do you know he was almost Batman at one point? He was cast as Batman, and
did he end up like playing their parents or something, or?
Oh, I don't know about that, but he was cast as Batman in the original Justice League movie, not the Zack Snyder Justice League. There was a Justice League movie,
George Miller one.
Yeah, that was going to be directed by George Miller around 2010ish, 2012ish, something like that. Like,
really? Is that okay?
It was weird because it was like post Nolan Batman, and I think it was like right around the time that Man of Steel was a thing or was going to be a thing. Yeah, it was kind of right in there. I remember because I know it was around then because it was like back in my early days of listening to podcasts. Because I remember people talking about it a lot around then. But yeah,
man, that sucks. That never came out.
I mean, compared to the Zack Snyder, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, he left it and someone else finished it, but still.
Hey, release a Miller cut, you know.
Release the Miller cut. Oh dear. So yeah, Armie Hammer's been in a lot. I mean, obviously Call Me by Your Name got a lot of buzz at the Oscars, but I mean, Lone Ranger was absolutely panned. Man from U.N.C.L.E. no one really cared about, I don't think. It was kind of just whatever. He was in The Social Network. That's actually the main thing that was the first thing I ever saw him in, probably. The Social Network. But other than that, Free Fire. He was in Free Fire. That was okay. It's okay. All right. I have sufficiently checked what Armie Hammer has been in.
Cool.
Excellent. Although everyone might remember him as Student Number 2 from Arrested Development.
That's where I know him from. Okay.
Yes. It's from 2005, so he was like, I don't know, 18, something like that.
He'll be back next year for Arrested Development Kills.
That was a later joke, Tim. I appreciate that. That was a later joke. All right, so yeah, he plays a bartender, and he's dealing with his relationship with his girlfriend's kind of in a bit of a cold spot where they're not mad at each other, but they tend to be kind of non-affectionate, we'll just say. He seems to be kind of flirting with Zazie Beetz' character in the bar, and he's also like breaking up a fight at one point at the opening of the movie. But the core inciting incident is this group of teenagers, college kids, who leave behind a phone, and some weird messages sort of pop up on it once he has it, and then weird things start happening around him for like a lot of the movie. So that's basically the gist of it. Before we get to spoilers, so Tim, you picked this movie. You decided we were watching it. What did you think of Wounds?
So have you seen Under the Shadow?
I have not actually. No.
Okay, because so that's like the other horror movie that this director did. It is a foreign movie, came out a few years ago, and it's really good. I would say it's definitely worth checking out. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to see this, because I heard some people say, like, some people said it's not great, other people said it's like worth checking out, but I like the director's first movie, so I was intrigued. And ultimately, I do think it was kind of a letdown, though. The actors are all pretty great in it. I do think the main story, there is some cool stuff there, but I don't feel like they were explain it super well. Like, I'm still like kind of confused. Like, I think there is some cool, like, kind of maybe even like Lovecraftian, like, kind of existential horror stuff in it that's interesting, but at the same time I'm kind of like, I don't know, I have like some questions, and honestly I think it kind of dragged in some parts. So I hate to say it, but I wasn't like super into it.
Yeah, I wasn't really that into it either, ultimately. I think there's a couple of creepy ideas that maybe could have been good, but the problem is that the movie focuses so much on what's essentially a bit of a love triangle that it kind of bogs it down, and we have a lot of moments where, or hell, just a lot of the runtime where the movie's about him chasing after Alicia, this girl who comes to the bar a lot, and kind of like feeling disconnected from his girlfriend. It feels like it spends so much time away from building what's actually going on, to the point where like, even though he sees some really messed up stuff in that phone, and even though like, you know, Dakota Johnson's freaking out because she sees it on the phone as well, like, it feels like it's just forgotten about for large portions of the movie, when it should really be the only thing he's thinking about at that point.
Like, oh no, totally. Like a lot of, it feels like there's just so much of this movie is just kind of him, like, you know, kind of walking or driving like from place to place, and then that's a good way to put it. Like, so much of it does not feel like it's the important thing of what he should be focusing on. Like, there's
a whole scene where he gets lunch and he sits on a step and eats a sandwich, and it's just, you know, it's riveting stuff. I mean, I make it further. I mean, I love the scene in A Ghost Story where the wife eats the pie. She used to let the whole damn pie sitting on the kitchen floor, but it's such an emotional scene because she's eating out a kind of like the sadness of her dead husband. There's stuff happening emotionally when she's eating this pie, despite the fact that she's just sitting there eating a pie the whole time. I never get when he's sitting here with this Subway sandwich. I'm not getting anything from it. He's just having a sandwich.
And one thing that was driving me crazy, because so, you know, we don't have like all our new stuff in the house yet, so like, we are getting like, you know, a nice, you know, like big TV, but we don't have it yet. So I had to watch this on like my whatever, I don't even know how big it is, but it's a small little TV, and we don't have a couch or anything in the living room yet. So I'm kind of sitting at the kind of like the dinner table in the back, like watching it, and then anytime something comes up on the phone, it's like, god damn it, I gotta hold on, let me pause it and walk up and see what it says, and then it's like, okay, like, all right, let me go back now and sit down and watch it, and then like 5 minutes later something comes up, and I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. Just, if there's something important, just tell me. I don't want to read a text message or see a picture or something on a phone. Just it's driving me crazy.
I feel like the solution to this, honestly, would be to watch it on the laptop, with the laptop on your chest, lying in bed. I feel like that's what your solution right now to this problem would be. But yeah, there's a lot of text messages. There's a lot of reading of the screen, which is, I mean, I don't necessarily mind that much. But yes, if you're watching a small screen from a distance, it may be an issue. So
I need whatever like the form of closed captioning is, where they like where a voice just comes on and reads you the phone or whatever.
Audio
should be an option.
Audio descriptive.
Yeah.
Well, is eating a sandwich very depressingly on the steps. He feels alone.
BRB.
I mean, the movie, like,
but you know what BRB stands for me, right?
For you, I mean, I know it stands for everyone else. What does it stand for you?
Boy rules, bitch.
Do you know what? 2020 is going to suck because there's a new boy movie coming out, and it doesn't matter what else happens. Yeah. There's a new boy movie happening, and that's too upsetting. It's too upsetting.
And the tagline is, "Whoever wins, Tim wins."
Oh, dude, no. I think the original tagline, you're paraphrasing, got it right. Whoever wins, we lose. Well, whoever wins, I lose. I guess maybe more accurate. So, listen to Tim rub his hands in excitement because there's a boy sequel coming out.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to crash and burn. You're not getting a third one. This is the end of it.
I think I might bring in some special guests for that episode. I might need some backup.
A special guest? Who do you know who's going to stick up for the boy too?
I need my boy crew.
Your boy crew?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So what else to say about the movie then? It's the funny sad thing is that I do feel like it's killing time at certain points in the movie, and I feel like it definitely feels like a Netflix / Hulu production. And I say that, and I hate to say that. There's no reason why those places should be making movies that are any less in quality if you just have good writers and directors making movies on small budgets. But it genuinely felt at times like it was just killing time or repeating ideas or, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like I guess there's like a few horror moments which weren't necessarily bad, but like again, it's very few and far between. And I don't know, the whole cell phone part seems kind of weird. Like, I don't know, like it almost feels like two different movies to me, or maybe like two different ideas. Like, I guess, not to get too spoilery, but let's just say like the wounds, like, there's a reason why it's called Wounds, and something happens with wounds.
There is titular wounds in the Wounds movie, yes.
So that seems like kind of a separate thing versus like someone's lost your cell phone and you're getting weird messages and like, people are following you. Like, I don't know. It kind of seems like that could be a separate.
I completely agree. I feel like there's two ideas here that weren't fully developed. Either one. Like, there's a whole phone thing. Like, you could do a good horror movie, or even just a good thriller around the idea of like finding a phone and someone starts sending messages. Because like the first message he gets is like, something from the tunnel, help, son, send help. It's like this, call for help. And it's not quite cellular. I don't know if you ever saw that Chris Evans movie where he's like helping the woman that's like trapped in the attic by bad guys.
Like a fun like action movie.
Yeah, it's a fun action movie. Like you could almost do the horror version of that where someone's like begging for help because of something supernatural hunting them or something like that, and that could be where the movie goes. It kind of feels like everything that happens to him after the initial discovery of the phone doesn't really need the phone as the plot device. It could just be someone puts a hex on him or something in the bar, or it could be anything. The phone's kind of inconsequential once it gets going.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sucks. It's one of the most frustrating things I feel about some of these direct to streaming movies that we get these days is that obviously some of them end up being great, and that there's great examples from the last like 3 or 4 years. So I'm never going to shit on them completely, but there's definitely a lot that feel like this where it feels like the ideas just aren't developed to the point where they actually. Do you know how I describe the pacing? It feels like a streaming TV show. It feels like a Netflix show where the pacing is too slow, but this just happens to have an extra 30 minutes on top of the hour, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually pace it for a movie. And I don't know if that's because I mean in this case it's a director who's already made a movie, and I don't think Anvari's done like TV before, but I do get the feeling with some of these movies that they are TV directors who haven't paced things for a movie before, or even the writers are maybe TV writers who haven't paced for a movie. Like they're pacing it almost as if there's going to be more, but the story just happens to end. If that makes sense.
No, I totally get that. Yeah, and it's like, and it wasn't a long movie. Like it was only like 90-ish something minutes.
95 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't a long.
But it still felt like it dragged. Like it shouldn't. Like. It'd be one thing if it was 2 hours and be like, oh man, it's really dragging. They could have cut stuff, but it's like 90 minutes. Like, you shouldn't really be like dragging your feet. It
almost feels like this should have been cut down to about 45 minutes, and you could have kept the entire story. Sure. Like I could see this being squeezed out of 45 minutes.
Totally.
And it's extended to the 90-minute mark to so it's a movie, so we can call it a movie and say we've got a movie for everyone to watch on our service.
Or I don't know, like it could be. I'm not sure exactly how long they are, but like a Black Mirror episode or something like.
Yeah, hell, Black Mirror varies well. Like Black Mirror goes from 40 minutes to about 90 minutes. There's episodes that are this long, and I mean, some episodes are good and bad, but like you never get the feeling that the ones that are bad because they're too long. Like all the stories are the length they should be for whatever they wrote. And with this, I was feeling that I was, there was several beats in the middle where I was like, oh my god, can we just move on to the next part of the plot? Can we?
Yeah.
And I never cared about the relationship stuff. I never cared about his relationship breaking down or his attraction to someone else. It made him kind of really unlikable for the most part.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, he's not a likable character. I do kind of think he's like the least interesting character in the movie. Everyone else I thought seemed more fascinating, like like the drunk guy at the bar, the couple of like Zazie Beetz and her boyfriend, and even Dakota Johnson. I feel like I would have liked to have known more about her, but she feels like such a non-character, really. And it's just Armie Hammer is just kind of like the more boring out of everybody.
With the exception of one scene where he drops Dakota Johnson off because she's like in her last year at university. With the exception of that scene, I don't think you ever see her outside their apartment.
No, not really. No,
she's always just in the apartment, which almost makes it feel like they had her for like 3 days, and they just shot all of her scenes in like 2 or 3 days, and that was okay. That's it. You can go now. Which I guess kind of makes, because I think debatably she is the biggest star of the three, because they're all names that I know, but of the three, she's probably the biggest star.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting some vertical camera action here, Tim. What's going on?
Never you mind, dear boy.
Come on, I'm curious. What's happening? So, there's a cat's knocking the camera around, and what's going on?
Oh no, I was just seeing if I have my my little what do you call it? Cooling pad underneath my camera. I was just seeing if it was on.
Oh, good. Is it?
It's a little wonky, but it's okay.
Okay. All right. I don't want the laptop to explode mid-recording, Tim. That's all.
No, it'll be fine. Yeah. Also, and I think when I don't, it doesn't heat up as much. I think when it's not connected to the Wi-Fi and stuff, so it's all good.
Okay. Okay. So. Yeah, movies, and the ending, obviously we can't really talk about the ending until spoilers properly, but I will say the ending is very sudden, and I don't feel, I think my biggest problem with the movie and what it's really missing is the feeling of escalation throughout it. And
totally,
there's a little bit of escalation to the romance stuff, bizarrely, because it is getting kind of more awkward as the movie goes on, but the actual horror stuff, like it doesn't really feel as much escalation. It feels like it just all hits at once at the end. It isn't super satisfying as a result. Because it goes for the kind of the shock ending, like the cut to black, you won't believe what you just saw moment. And ultimately, it just kind of...
It's more like you won't care about what you just saw.
Yeah, you won't care, exactly. So that kind of sucks. So unfortunately, I have very little good to say about this. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like one of these embarrassing like 3 out of 10s that we watch where it's like painfully like the acting's bad and all that. Because the acting's fine. Like all the actors in this are solid actors. Unfortunately, as a result, it's not even bad enough to be funny bad. It's just really boring bad.
Yeah, which a lot of the times we say is kind of the worst sin like a movie can do, because again, at least if it was like batshit crazy and over the top, there'd be more stuff we can say about it, but it's just one of those like middle of the road movies where it's like technically it's put together fine, but there's not a ton there. I mean, I don't even think I'd really recommend hey, if you're curious, check it out. But I don't know. I don't think most people would really get that much out of it.
I think there's better things to watch. There's better things to spend your time on.
Yeah.
So, I guess with that, we'll.
And again, I just want to say, to reiterate, one of the reasons why I wanted to watch this is because the person's first movie is really, really good. I know it was on Netflix for a while, so if it's still on there, definitely check it out. It's like it's a bit of a slow burn movie as well, but it's like a really good kind of haunted house possession kind of movie. So that is definitely worth checking out. But this one not so much, and I don't know if maybe it was just one of those things where. I feel like sometimes you get that with when foreign directors come over and make their first American movie. I feel like it's not always the best. And I don't know, maybe if it's if it's just a cash in thing, or if they kind of if you get a chance at Hollywood, you don't want to go too crazy or whatever. Studios are more demanding. I don't know, but.
You're right. There's a lot of examples of that, not just in horror, just in a lot of genres.
True. Yeah.
Sometimes it works out. Sometimes Chandwick Park will make Stoker, and I'll be like, yes, great. Yeah. But sometimes it'll be like John Woo coming over and his movies compared to his Asian stuff is just not comparable. So that's what it is. But So yeah, we'll probably go to the spoiler section now. I will take this time to thank our Patreon producers for the month. So thank you to David Short, Alison M. Fortis, Cindy Palacios, and Tyler Hess. That means they are patrons at the $20 or up tiers. You can support us over at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV as well. You don't have to be at that extent though. You can just support us for $1 per month, just $1, and you get access to the exclusive bonus monthly episode, of which now there's a back catalogue of about 12 or 13 that you can enjoy. But you can do that at $1, $5 gets you access to the voting every month and some other stuff. So go and have a look and see if you're interested in all that. But all of it helps us keep the content coming. So thank you once again. Yes.
Well, if anyone is interested, if they want to send me their personal home addresses, I'll be more than happy to send some of my hair to them as a thank you.
I thought you were going to say maybe like Goat Man or something, but you said your hair.
Yeah.
Your hair.
I'll cut a little bit of my hair off and send it. It'll be, they'll love it.
Oh, this is an important question. Is this from your head?
We'll see.
All right, Virgul pubes coming soon to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV. All right, that's the spoilers then for wins. Spoilers for wins. So we're introduced to characters at the start. He's in the bar and he's kind of talking friendly enough to Zazie Beetz, and she's got like a boyfriend who's new named Jeffrey who's there.
And it's funny. I mean, I don't know if you thought this at all, but from the beginning here, I would have never thought that he was going to be the main character. Like, he seemed like kind of inconsequential at first. I felt like
Armie Hammer, I guess, can see that.
And I just like, I mean, again, maybe it just seemed like everyone else at the bar was a little more interesting than him. Like, it seemed like he was kind of just facilitating much more interesting like conversations and people and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah, don't panic. I was letting cat out. Yeah, I mean, you've got this angry sort of bald guy who's kind of like, picking fights with people and gets into a fight, and there's like, a bottle that slashes his face at one point.
If you watch Orange is the New Black, he was like one of the mean guards in the later seasons of that.
Ah, look at you with the knowledge. What's funny about this is that like I was expecting him to have a much bigger deal, because everyone the next day keeps asking Armie Hammer like, is Eric all right? Is he all right? Yeah. And he goes back to check him and he looks kind of rough, but like I was expecting him to go back and check him multiple times, and he kind of just like again forgets about him until the end of the movie when he goes to check him again, and his wound in his face becomes something important. I guess we'll say at this point. But yeah, so this phone's left behind during these teenagers leave a phone behind in the ruckus, and he gets weird messages that night when he goes home. And it's stuff like, help, it's the guy from the tunnel, something scary's happening. And he does respond, he fails out the password because of the smudge marks on the screen, and he responds with, hey, you left your phone at the Rosie's bar last night. And the next day, like, there's a photo that's sent to it of like teeth that have been pulled out, and they're just lying in blood. And this is kind of the first sign that you think something's wrong with the couple, because Dakota Johnson's like thinks, wait, you've got someone's phone? Is this some girl? It feels like she's being kind of jealous and nervous and accusatory. But he's also kind of a dick in return, where he's like, geez, I'm not lying about it. And you can tell they've got a bit of a weird history. Like, there's clearly been something that's, some cheating that's happened one way or another that's made them jumpy, as it were.
Now, did you get really hungry when they showed that picture of the teeth?
I can't say I did, no.
Okay. And then you like to eat human teeth, so.
What? Also, for anyone following the Screams Midnight Twitter, that's at Screams Midnight. Dr. Pepper is in no way the official drink of Screams After Midnight. Also, this is not becoming an owl podcast, and also, well, other stupid things have you said recently? I don't know. I feel like I have to debunk stupid things that Tim said on Twitter like every other day.
I guess you probably haven't seen the last tweet I sent yet.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. What the hell did you do? Oh, I want to drop some F-bomb so bad. What is this? What did you have time to do this? For those of you who are not in the know, Tim here has photoshopped Brahms from The Boy, his head onto my body, and an image from an old review. God, you're such a prick.
Thought that's what you would want it. I don't know.
What have I ever done or said that would imply I want that, Tim? Think about what you're saying. Think about it.
We'll see what the fans think about it. Maybe that could be our new overlay.
Well, just over my face, just have Brahms over my face. All right, sure. Jeez. All right. So, as far as the horror stuff goes, outside of them seeing creepy stuff on the phone, because when he comes back later that day, they see more stuff. There's like like he's looking through the photos, and there's like a decapitated head, and there's a body, and there's like bugs crawling everywhere. So here's the thing. One of the things that kind of continues throughout the movie, in relation to the horror stuff, is that there's all these cockroaches and bugs that keep showing up. And the weird thing is, though, is that the first time we see a cockroach is right at the start of the movie before he even gets the phone. So I was implying to me that it had nothing to do with the kids or the phone. That was implying to me that whatever was here was already here for him, regardless of, the phone and any intervention that might have happened that night.
Yeah.
Because they say throughout the movie that he's like chosen to be a vessel or something like that, and it felt like that had already happened. When I don't know, that seems less interesting to me than like something by chance that sort of draws him into it. I guess I don't know.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I like that idea more of just a, dude just happens upon this stuff and. Yeah, kind of like through circumstances beyond his control, he kind of spirals, as opposed to, it was all preordained and stuff. And, people need to realize, like, not everything has to be preordained destiny. You don't always have to be part of a lineage or family or anything. Like, maybe it's not always the most interesting.
What you're saying is that he shouldn't be a Palpatine. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm not bringing up any names or anything. Just saying, I think it's a lot more interesting take as opposed to, these giant world, universes being filled with like the same, like the only same three family members matter. Yeah.
The giant universe. We still talking about wounds here, Tim. I don't know.
Of course, yeah. Wounds. Yeah, wounds is a very big spanning. Lots of dimensions and whatnot.
Oh dear. So yeah, I mean that's basically it for the horror stuff. All in the fact that he occasionally zones out and has like these flashes of like bugs or wounds, or I think eventually in the movie he gets like a wound on his armpit that he kind of scrubs until it bleeds, and then he realizes there's nothing there. So it's kind of like he's seeing things that aren't there. But it's more of an agitation thing that's kind of building as his feeling about his relationships are kind of like dwindling, and as he gets angrier, the more of this wound stuff kind of comes in. So I mean, really what it's trying to do is it's trying to give you this character who's kind of losing his mind, whether it's through his own device or because there's a supernatural entity kind of aiding him along. Is up to you, but like that's basically what the movie's doing. Unfortunately, it's just thoroughly unengaging, and so much of the movie is like him fighting with his girlfriend and feeling like jealous because she seems really close with her tutor at university, and then because of that he tries to kind of flirt with Alicia, with Zazie Beetz, and to the point where he takes her out. They're drinking in the bar, and then he takes her out to like a remote spot, and they're drinking together, and they're even like hugging each other as they're lying there. And I mean, the whole thing's just kind of murky as shit, because he starts kissing her and she kind of kisses him back, but then kind of pulls away and says, like, no, I'm with someone, you're with someone. None of their behaviour, they're clearly flirting from the first second. Like, they're clearly doing that the entire time. Which is, whatever. I'm not saying people don't do that and they're in denial about what they're doing, because that's totally a thing. I'm just... It's frustrating to watch because there's no subtext to it in the movie. It's just presented as it is, and there's several moments where I felt this just awkward, and I don't think in the way that it worked. It was kind of an annoying awkwardness between either the relationship stuff. There's a whole scene where when he's on the way to the police station to talk to one of the friends, there's a couple of cops who always come at the bar, so he knows a couple of cops, and he goes to the police station to hand in the phone and show them what's on it and say, hey, this is kind of creepy. This is after they found the photos of the decapitated head and so on and so on, and he actually like has a hallucination in the car where the phone gets a message saying he's being followed, and then he imagines all these cockroaches crawling over his arm, and he throws the phone out the window. So he gets to the police station and he still goes in to make a statement and say, hey, I found this phone and yada yada yada. But the entire time I was like, but you've threw the phone away, you have no evidence, you're going to sound like a crazy man. Like, and the entire scene was just frustrating to watch because it felt like, why are you still telling them this? You have nothing to show them.
Yeah.
You're going to look like a madman. And it annoyed me.
Yeah, and then and again, it's kind of like that weird thing where it seems like the phone is going to be this big focal point in the movie, but then it's just like kind of thrown away, and yeah, you don't really see much of it. Like again,
no, if anything, you get more stuff with Carrie, the girlfriend, Dakota Johnson, like her, like when he comes home and she'll be like watching the laptop and she'll be like zoned out because it's this tunnel on the screen, and she's just kind of zoned out and she's kind of losing it, and it feels like she's also kind of like going kind of nuts as well as time goes on, but we spend so little time with her that it's hard to kind of get a good grasp of it. And of course eventually he gets like a message, or like the phone has like a photo message saying, when he gets it back later, because again he ends up having it back later through reasons, and like it's a photo of like the girlfriend in the house, so he gets concerned even though he's already tried to break up with her, and he runs over there and like she like, I mean, the whole I actually kind of forget what happened to her. She's just she's just staring at the screen when he gets there, right? There's nothing else to it.
Dakota Johnson,
yeah,
like I think that's the last you really see of her at any point throughout the movie. Because I think after she, like, I guess I forget if they say it or if you just assume it, that they basically break up, and then
there's a whole scene where he says he wants to break up and they sort of fight about it at the dinner at the breakfast table. But was that after this whole like rushing home to like see if she's okay, or was that before this? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Yeah, I should tell you something about the movie.
Yeah, maybe it was after this. But yeah, she's kind of comes zoned out and she's like staring at these things as well. He from there, like, because he's broken up with her, keeps calling Alicia, and Alicia's like told her boyfriend. There's a whole awkward scene where Alicia and Jeffrey come to the bar and Jeffrey tries to pick a fight, and like people just kind of hold both of them back and he gets thrown out, and it's kind of revealing Will's true colors because Will calls him a little bitch and he's getting more and more unlikable as the movie goes on. And then the end of the movie is he keeps calling Alicia, and Alicia says, look, I'm with Jeffrey and that's not changing. Like, I'm in love with Jeffrey and this is not going to be a thing. If you care about me, you leave me alone. And it's after this where he's with Eric, the guy who got his face slashed at the start of the movie, and he's like, hey, I need to stay with you a couple of days. The movie ends with him kind of staring at his wound in his face, and what is this thing, there's almost like this alien baby thing, this like alien chicken baby, I'll call it, that we've seen a couple of quick flashes off when people have been zoned out and looking at the tunnel and stuff, and the whole idea is that the tunnel is one of these wounds, and we see this thing come out of this guy's, and this is the thing, as this is happening, there's more and more cockroaches covering the screen, so it's kind of obscuring what we're seeing, but we see just enough through the cockroaches of the alien baby thing coming through this guy's wound in his face, or through his cheek, and get into Armie Hammer's mouth, and that's when the movie cuts to black and ends. The whole idea of the movie essentially being that Armie Hammer was the perfect host for this entity, whatever it was.
So, like, I gotta admit, like, I was confused by the end of the movie, and I mean, I'm not sure how much of it is the the movie just not explaining stuff very well, or I don't know if there were times I got bored and maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention that I missed something. So, sometimes that happens, and you look up like, the Wikipedia summary or something to kind of, just see if you missed something. And then like, I was, I think it was mostly from there that I got that they were talking about like the whole point of it is that there are these other dimensional beings that like travel through wounds. Something like about the wounds being like portals and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's on me for missing something. I feel like I didn't get that from the movie.
The only scene that tells you anything about this is the old, the old sort of trope of him looking stuff up on the internet, and he starts finding like things. And we get the montage of him reading stuff on the computer, and that's kind of it. But no, I agree. I don't think the movie kind of like gets across its ideas. Like if there's any cool ideas about what these things are, it feels so undercooked to me to the point where I don't give a shit about any of it. Like nothing gets a reaction out of me in this movie.
And like the the idea of some of the visuals like do sound pretty cool. Like the idea like that guy at the end, his wound, like it does look pretty gnarly. And then the idea of like seeing a creature or something like poking out of it and coming out and all these cockroaches flying around and stuff, it sounds cool. But then of course it's all CGI, and it didn't really look great like towards the end. Which I thought was a bummer. Like nothing about it really, like on paper a lot of these ideas sound kind of cool, but I don't know if the film just couldn't make them look interesting, or if it's just kind of boring CGI. But the horror parts that I feel like could have been maybe a little more interesting or whatever weren't like super good.
I think more of a focus, or at least more of it's more hints that it was affecting what he was doing and how he was acting, and more that it was kind of starting to seep into him a little bit. Like, I don't know that, like, because all we really get is when he looks up on the computer, and also the vague messages he gets from people either over the phone or through text messages that say, "Oh, you're the perfect host. It's chosen you," yada yada yada. And there's never like. Because I think when the movie was starting and we see this decapitated head, I assumed that by the end of the movie we're going to see exactly like the sort of scenario. Because at one point it teases that Dakota Johnson's head at one point is teased to be decapitated. We see like a quick flash of it.
That's another thing. Like I forgot about that. Like at one point I thought they were going the route of, this is going to predict what's going to happen. Like, okay, so that's the thing. It shows you how people are going to die or whatever. But that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, just kind of. I don't know. This is such a non-committal movie to me. It doesn't really commit to any of its ideas. It feels so undercooked, and it's one of the most frustrating things to watch. Is at least if something's bad but crazy, and like someone's passionately put their life and soul into it, you're like, okay, well, this is terrible, but I can see the passion on the screen. This just feels so devoid of any emotion to me.
Yeah, it's like maybe they started off with like a good idea or something, but then like halfway through they kind of like lost interest or something. So it's just like, I mean, we got to finish it. We started it, so.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
At least that's what the experience of watching it kind of feels like. Like, all right, well, I mean, I committed to doing this for the show, so I can't turn this off.
Yes, exactly. I mean, because I didn't hate the start of it. The first like 10, 15 minutes, it's like, okay, I'm interested in the characters. Okay, it seems to be doing that well enough. I'm getting a good vibe of who everyone is. Phone's been left behind. Okay, decent setup. But everything from what actually happens once it gets going is just so thoroughly underwhelming. And I mean, hell, underwhelming even feels too strong. Like it just, like it just is. Like I don't know. It was like watching. I don't know. Someone count a bag of rice or something. I guess that wraps up. I have nothing else to add. Tim, what are you giving Wounds?
It's funny because there's nothing like offensively bad about it. Again, like the acting's good. Maybe the shots, maybe they're, might not be particularly interesting, but, it's not like it's shot poorly or anything. So, On that basis, you kind of think like, well, I'm not going to give it too bad of a score. But then if you start thinking about like, what did I like about it? Like, what is there to recommend, watching, or, something that makes it worth your time? And, unfortunately, I can't really think of too much in that aspect. So I don't know. I guess I do got to go like pretty low, but I think like maybe a 3.5, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like it's again, on a technical level, it's not bad. There's nothing about the production or anything that makes it hard to watch. It's just, it's just not really a lot there.
Yeah, it's tough because it's not necessarily, like you say, as terrible as like stuff that's really poorly made. That's like, like stuff like. So what's a recent example? I don't know. So like the stuff that we've torn apart. That's because it's like it's not even like technically put together.
It's not like a Truth or Dare or something where I don't know.
I don't know. That feels kind of on the par with this, to be honest. To me,
oh, yeah.
I think because Truth or Dare, like, it's not the exact same problems, but they're kind of similar in that they're still relatively well budgeted, movies made by workman-like directors. So, and again, the previous movie this guy does, you said is great. It probably is. We'll do it at some point on the show, but yeah, it's a weird one. I'm going to give it a 3, and I realized at the start I said this is not one of those 3 out of 10s. It is a 3 out of 10. It's just not a 3 out of 10 for technical reasons. It's a 3 out of 10 for everything else. It's competently made, and it's got a decent set of actors who are fine at what they're doing. The script and the concepts and everything are just painfully dull, and it makes it just a mundane experience trying to watch it. Like it's hard to pay attention to after a certain point. So there you go. That's Wounds. Nothing happy to say, unfortunately. That is us. That has been Screams After Midnight. So thank you once again for watching and listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching scary movies, guys, and we will see you next time.